Hey, I'm Jim Richards. I want to welcome you to the message tonight. It's about a more excellent way. You know what? I talk to people all the time. I talk to people on the phone, talk to people on Facebook, talk to people through email. And it's amazing how many people are attempting to relate to God through formulas. And it's kind of hit and miss. It's really pretty sad. It's sort of like having a formula and you go home and you think you're supposed to say a certain thing to your wife and she's supposed to say a certain thing to you, and you eat dinner at a certain time, and you go through all these formulas, and it's supposed to make a marriage, and it doesn't. Relationships are made because people communicate, because people trust each other, because people talk, because people solve problems, because people do what it takes to stay in love. But you see, we don't relate to God like it's a relationship. We relate to God like He is just an equation in some kind of a formula. Listen, Jesus told us why He came. He said, I came that you might have life, have it to the abundance, live it to its fullest, until it's overflowing. And so we take that and we try to run out and put together a formula about how to make that happen. But see, Jesus also told us in John 17:3, here's the way you have this life. You have this life by knowing God and knowing Jesus, whom He sent. Listen, God created us to be in a relationship with us. He didn't create us so we could have a formula. He's not putting us through some kind of test. We're not going to have a final exam at the rapture. God is trying to bring us into a relationship, and everything that makes life worth living is experienced through a relationship with God. It's not a formula. Information can tell you about God, but involvement causes you to know God. And I want to tell you something. The people that God used, even though they had flaws in their life, even though they've failed in so many ways, they always got up seeking a relationship. They trusted God. They loved God. They walked with God. Isn't that a phenomenal thing? You know, one of the people in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, it talks about Enoch and how that Enoch, Enoch was translated. Man, God literally translated him out of planet Earth supernaturally. And he was trying to say, what was it about Enoch that was so unique that God literally just translated him from earth to heaven? And all you find is that Enoch walked with God. What? You look at Abraham. We talked about him a few weeks ago. He made a mess out of his life, but he was a friend of God. You look at David, who committed adultery and murder, but really his heart was after God, and he recovered. You see, all these people that God used in such a phenomenal way, all these people whose prayers are powerful, these men of like passions, they're just people who pursue God on a more excellent way. They don't do it through legalism. They don't do it through formulas. They do it through a relationship. See, God's calling you to a relationship, and everything God's got for you is going to be based on a relationship. So you know what? Do the things that it takes to have a relationship with God, just like you would anybody else. Communicate, talk, share. When there's a problem, work it out. Put God first, just like you would put your mate first. Do those things that would keep any relationship alive. But more than anything else, do whatever it takes to stay in love with God. And I'll tell you, if you'll stay in love with God and just walk with God, He will lead you down the perfect path of life, the path that is perfect for you and for your situation. Listen, if you want to hear this message in its entirety, go to my website, www.impactministries.com. This program will be available tonight, February the 24th at about 11 p.m. Central Standard Time through Wednesday morning, February the 29th at 9 a.m. Send this to your friends. Anybody that's struggling, anybody that thinks that their failures disqualifies them for God to use them, send this to them, because I want everybody to know that you just keep getting up and you keep seeking a relationship with God, and it just keeps getting better and better and better.